Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dion, and today we're doing a video that I am so excited for, which is a style guide to the Midnights era, referencing the Midnights album by Taylor Swift. If you're new here, I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan, and I've done different Taylor Swift videos in the past, so you should definitely check those out. I think I have like a playlist of it, so yeah, you can check that out. I always feel weird when I wear heavy makeup on camera. I feel like I look like Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror. Yeah, so go easy on me. I was trying to do like the blue thing that she does, all glittery. Also, I'm just having lighting issues. I think it's just because I'm filming at a weird time of the day. So yeah. But if you like aesthetic-based fashion videos and thrifting / sustainable fashion, you should definitely subscribe to my channel because I post videos every Thursday. And with that, let's get into it. Dear reader, it's midnight as I'm writing this, and all I can think of are the would'ves, could've, should'ves. I'm lost in the labyrinth of my mind, fighting this great war over such sweet nothing. Can I ask you a question? I found this gem in Paris. It's bigger than the whole sky, and it's this gorgeous maroon color with an almost lavender haze around it. I was wondering if I make you bejeweled, I'll have you back on my side. I know buying you gifts doesn't make me a mastermind, but I'm trying to avoid your vigilante shit. All my guilt hits different with midnight rain falling down, and I'm feeling the gravity of my karma. I know my high infidelity won't make me your main character, but perhaps I can be your anti-hero? Or maybe there'll be some glitch and suddenly there's snow on the beach and everything is all right again. Until then, you're on your own, kid. Okay, that, if you've never seen one of my fashion aesthetic videos, I usually start them out with like a paragraph to sort of get you into the aesthetic. But instead of doing that, I was like, let me just do like a Mad Libs with every single song from the album. So if you don't listen to Taylor Swift, if it sounded like I was saying like a weird sentence, it's because like every other word was a Taylor Swift song from the Midnights album. So Midnights is Taylor Swift's latest album. It's her 10th album, not including the re-recordings. And it's like produced with Jack Antonoff as well. And it has a really specific aesthetic. I think all of Taylor Swift's eras have certain aesthetics. I think that is what defines an era, but I feel like now we're more hyper aware of aesthetics and how they align with time periods and fashion and culture and everything. So the Midnights aesthetic is it's sort of like, I was gonna say, it's sort of like the 2 a.m. time, and I'm like, yeah, that's called Midnights. It is gloomy, but also like kind of love drunk. It's sort of like when you get drunk to have fun, but you end up like crying by the end of the night, kind of that vibe. And like you're in love, but you're also heartbroken, and it's very synthy, and there's like a melancholy aspect to it, but you can also like dance to a lot of the songs, which is so fun. And I don't know, it has a mix of like old Taylor vibes and new Taylor vibes. I loved every single one of Taylor Swift's albums. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But I will say, like, when she did 1989, Red is my favorite album, I was like, hell yeah, girl, like, get a little poppy with it, you better work. When she did Rap, I was like, cool, I like it. Like, I used it in my spin class a lot. I like to run to Reputation, and like, it definitely has a place. But I was sort of like, because I'm a day one debut stan, like my dad, who you know is always in the comments, will attest that like since 2006, I've been listening to Taylor Swift, like since she came out with a single. So I did like country singer-songwriter Taylor, and with like Rap and Lover, I was like, cool, experimenting and doing different things, and I kind of like it. And then when she did Folklore and Evermore, I was like, yes, the girl I fell in love with, like, she's still there. She just like has a different music style, or she can do different music styles. And it actually made me appreciate her more poppy albums after Folklore and Evermore, which were very acoustic. And so when Midnights came out, I was ready for another pop album. I was like, you gave me two sort of like sad, Taylory vibes plus like all the vault tracks. I was like, I'm good. Let's do a little pop. Let's do a little dance. And so I have like a newfound appreciation for Rep, Lover, and Midnights. I sort of consider a trio. And I just freaking love this album. Like I freaking love it, and I love the aesthetic of it. So let's actually talk about it. So the vibes of this aesthetic, if you are just not in the Taylor Swift realm and not whatever, I would say is a mix of like rockstar girlfriend with a little bit of like messy French girl and indie sleaze in it. Megan Rinks, who's an influencer, said like she predicted it was going to be like 2014 Tumblr, which it definitely has sort of that vibe, but it's also very 70s in aesthetic. So fashion wise, I would say it was sort of like Studio 54. Like that's what it is. It's 70s and glitter and disco and messy and rock and roll and sleaze and glamour and like fabulousness, but also debauchery. Like it's that is the vibe of the album, which like just in time for New Year's Eve, I feel like this aesthetic is going to be so cool. I feel like people are really going to go hard this New Year's Eve. I think with the Midnights album and I don't know, other things, I feel like this New Year's Eve, people are really going to like go all out with the sparkles, and this album is like perfect for that. The color scheme for this album is of course like midnight blue, silver, gold, and black. I would say those are the four. I would honestly say the three primary colors would be midnight blue, black, and silver. Gold, burnt orange, hunter green, mustard yellow, maroon, those like 70s autumnal colors, those I would consider like secondary colors in the color palette of this album. There's two sides sort of to her aesthetic. It's very for the album. Like we've seen her in the promo photos be very, very 70s, very, very indie, that kind of thing. And we've seen in the music videos, glamour, diamonds, blah, blah, blah. So that's sort of the duality of the album. And then I would say tertiary colors, third tier, are like jewel tones and metallics. So anything like deep pink, sapphire blue, emerald, ruby, just jewel tones and metallics in general are welcome in this color scheme and aesthetic. And I put that in there because I know some of us, including myself, midnight blue, those type of things, I'm not like the biggest fan of it with my coloring. I like the 70s vibes, but if you want to be glamour like I do, but don't necessarily like do a lot of blues and like cool tones, maybe you have a similar coloring that I do, then the like jewel tones of like emerald, ruby, that like deep, like, you know, fake diamond pink, like that color pink, all of that, like that, I feel like I want to throw that in there. And to have like the tertiary colors for like accents, or just to get into the vibe if you're not necessarily super deep into that into the aesthetic. I feel like this aesthetic is all about drinking, dancing, going out, writing poetry, reading and receiving and reading letters, late night movies, and like late night drives. Of course it's called Midnight, so it's all about like nighttime and all of what comes around at night, the good and the bad. So as always with these aesthetic videos, I like to ask you guys what you think on it. So I always do this on my Instagram, which is at @DionTheTaurus, like everything else. And you should definitely check out my TikTok and Instagram because I post there super often. So I asked, what kind of vibe does the Midnights aesthetic give you? On a full moon night looking at the ocean, which, yeah, I definitely get that vibe. And people were saying like, if Midnights were a place, it'd be like an ABBA inspired place, or the beach during winter, an old bedroom, sneaking out the window at night, 70s era, but like how we remember it, not like the actual 70s era with like 2020, 2022 makeup. So for staples of the aesthetic, I would say like a 70s sort of like Penny Lane fur coat, and basically any sort of 70s disco inspired piece. polos, especially like striped polos, and I'm not just saying it because I'm wearing one. When I saw the promo photos for Midnights, I was like, oh, this kind of goes with it. The perfect little black dress, bell bottoms, Studio 54 type of outfits, so like clubbing, glamour outfits, metallic materials and like shiny materials. In terms of shoes, I feel like for the Midnights era, you want like Mary Jane's, tall brown boots and tall black boots, and like glittery heels. And accessories, glittery makeup and accessories. I feel like for the Midnights tour, for the Eras tour, people are gonna do like the glitter hair strands, hair gems, glitter makeup, rhinestones on the face, all of that type of thing. And I feel like hairstyle wise for the Midnights aesthetic, like messy and like sort of down and shaggy, like 70s curtain bangs, or like a mullet if you want to get really like into it. But it's glamorous but grungy. I mean, it has sort of that like clubbing luxe aesthetic that people were talking about like earlier this year. It's sort of that, but it has a 70s undertone to it. So when putting together a Midnights themed outfit, I usually suggest like go with the color scheme, like reference back the color scheme. So midnight blue, silver, gold, black, or like 70s autumnal colors, like I said. And I think you should, I mean, I suppose there is a way to sort of like blend the two dual sides of the album, but I feel like the best way to do it would be like, if you're gonna go for like a bejeweled Karma vigilante shit type of aesthetic, or if you're gonna go for the more like 70s sweet nothing, like somber aesthetic, just for like matching purposes. If you want to do like a bejeweled sort of vibe, obviously anything with like gems or glitter, I feel like this aesthetic is very much like dressing up for New Year's Eve. Silky pants or a silky blazer I feel like would look really cool, and tons of glitter blazers. If you look up like House of CB or SLA The Label on Poshmark or Depop, I know they have like really cool glitter pieces. Dipsney is a small brand, like designer, and they do a lot of really cool glitter pieces. But I think you should definitely have something like shiny on you, whether it's like a lot of sparkly jewelry or a sparkly dress, sparkly heels, something sparkly in keeping in with like the black, silver, blue color scheme with the jewel tones. I feel like those two go really well together. And then for like the 70s one, obviously doing like wide leg pants, striped sweaters, like grandpa sweaters in general, argyle, sort of like academia, but like a mustardy, like autumnal academia kind of vibe. And I think the like important thing in remembering it is like, no matter which side of Midnights you're doing, whether it's like the glamour side or the like 70s down to earth side, is to have a little bit of an edge to it. I think with the 70s side, it is a lot more casual and blah, blah. But even when it's all like bejeweled and shiny and whatever and glamour, there's, I guess to the tone of the album, there is like a sadness to it. Obviously in the music video, she's very like happy, and some of the songs are very happy, so it's hard to be like, there should be an edge to it. But still, I feel like you should go like Rockstar Girlfriend, Messy French Girl, which are two aesthetics I've already covered if you want to check those out. I have those videos as well. You want to go like glamour, but just a little bit you're drunk. Like, I mean, so much of this album is about like Taylor drinking. Even if you're like so glamorous and polished at the beginning of the night, Midnights is about like how you look at midnight. So like maybe your hair's a little bit messy, maybe you're a little like sweatier, maybe the glitter on your eyes sort of traveled down your cheek, maybe, you know, you took off your heels, like that kind of thing. Like you want a little, there's a looseness to it. Again, Studio 54, just fun, live, laugh, love, escapism, that kind of vibe. I was gonna do a like an outfit for each song, and I realized there's like 21 songs, and I actually picked out all the outfits, and I thought like really deeply about them, and I was like, even if I cut this down to like each outfit only gets a minute, like of me talking about it and like a quick blurb of why I picked it out, that would still be like 21 minutes. And like, I knew this was already going to be like 15-ish minutes. I was like, okay, that doesn't make much sense. So if you want me to do like a styling video of like an outfit for each song on the Midnights album, let me know. Because I literally, if you want me to do any Taylor Swift themed videos, comment. All I need is one comment and I will turn this into a Taylor Swift channel. I love making videos on her, and I mean, if you can't tell, like, I've been smiling this whole video. I love talking about her music and everything. So leave a comment down below what you thought of this video, what you thought of the album. And if you're not a Taylor Swift fan, if you just watched this video for me, then feel free to just comment down below what other aesthetics you want me to cover. I'm always taking suggestions. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because I post videos every Thursday, and follow me on TikTok and Instagram because I post content there almost every single day and love to ask y'all's opinions on things over there. And with that, have a happy, happy day. Bye.